How's it going, YouTube? Michael here. Today is going to be a video about how to overclock your GTX 560 Ti. So let's get started. Alright, first of all, you're going to need to download the MSI Afterburner, which it works with all graphics cards, AMD, Nvidia, whatever, but mainly we're focusing on the GTX 560 Ti. And you can have it by any brand. It doesn't need to be by MSI. Like I have the EVGA version of the card. After you download it, it's usually the first link. Install it, obviously, and you'll be presented with something like this. Alright, and inside here you'll probably see not these settings of 900 for clock core, 1800 for shader clock, and 2106 for memory clock. Instead, you'll probably see stock clock speeds of 822 for the core, 1645 for the shader, and 2000 for the memory. If you want to be safe about it when you're overclocking, you can start out by overclocking to these small overclock settings, which is 850, 1700, and 2052. And you would do that by just moving these sliders, moving the sliders here, and the shader and the core clocks move at the same time. And there's the memory clock. Leave the fan speed on auto, and go down here and hit apply when you have it on the correct settings. Well, I'd say basically every GTX 560 will work with the small overclock, and almost all of them will also work with this average overclock speeds. I'd say this is trustable. But if you want to test that, you're going to want to get the Heaven benchmark or your benchmark of choice. I just prefer this one, and it's called Heaven DX11 benchmark. And you download that, install it, choose the settings you want to run it at. Basically, bring up the resolution to whatever the max is on your screen. This I always bring up to 16. Tessellation keep on normal, never go on high. Shaders, leave them at high. DirectX 11, and I wouldn't full screen it. Leave it in the window. If there's any issues, you can close it off faster that way. If you see artifacts, which are, let's see here, try to show you an example. Something like this. If you start seeing anything similar to this, close it off immediately and change the clock speeds back to the stock clock, because your card isn't going to handle it, and you may have screwed it up at that point, which would really suck. By the way, if you have a nice cooler on your graphics card, like a dual fan, you might want to try these settings right here. But that's completely up to you. I know these ones are pretty safe. These ones are questionable. Like on my single fan card, it's had issues at those settings. So that's completely up to you. Also, if you have water cooling or exotic cooling, you should be able to handle these settings just fine. And one last thing I need to mention is the temperature gauge here. While you're running the benchmark, make sure you still have MSI Afterburner open and you're checking it, the temperature range. The card is allowed to get up to 99 degrees Celsius. At that point, it's becoming dangerous. If the fan speed's at 100% and it's getting close to 99, obviously your card's not going to have sufficient cooling, and you're going to need to exit out of the benchmark probably as quickly as possible, and change the clock speeds back. Do not change the clock speeds while you're in the benchmark. I wouldn't consider that safe. And have fun.